My rich stepdad made me homeless at 18, 5 years later. He asked me for help. The night I turned 18, my rich stepdad told me I had 1 hour to pack my things and get out of his house. I wish I was exaggerating, but that is exactly how it happened. My mom married him when I was 12, and suddenly we were living in a huge house in a quiet suburb outside Chicago. He owned several construction companies, and money was never a problem for him. At first, he acted like he cared about me, but the older I got, the colder he became. He always reminded me that the house, the cars, and even the food in the fridge were his, not mine. By the time I turned 17, he had already started saying things like, "You better figure out your life because I am not paying for it." My mom tried to stay neutral, but she almost never stood up to him. On my 18th birthday, he called me into his office and said, "Congratulations, you are an adult now. That means you are no longer my responsibility. You have until tonight to leave." I thought he was joking, but he handed me a small suitcase and $100 in cash, like it was some kind of lesson about the real world. My mom cried, but she did not stop him, so I packed what little I could carry and left the only home I had known for 6 years. The first few months were brutal. I slept on a friend's couch, worked night shifts at a grocery store, and took community college classes during the day. I was angry all the time, but I kept telling myself that one day I would prove him wrong. Slowly, things started to change. I transferred to a state university, studied finance, and worked every job I could find. Internships, side hustles, anything that paid. After graduation, I joined a small startup that helped local contractors manage their projects online. Within 3 years, the company exploded. We started working with construction firms all over the Midwest, and somehow I ended up leading one of the fastest growing divisions. Then last winter, something happened that I never expected. I got an email from a man I had not heard from in 5 years. My stepdad. The message was short. He said his company was struggling, that new regulations and bad investments had nearly bankrupted him. He wrote that he had heard about my success in the construction tech industry and wondered if I could help him restructure his business. For a moment, I just stared at the screen, remembering the night he gave me 1 hour to leave. But here's the part that shocked me the most. At the bottom of the email, he wrote that my mom had left him 2 years earlier and that the big house I was kicked out of had already been sold to pay off his debts. The man who once treated me like a burden was now asking the kid he threw out to save his company. I ended up agreeing to meet him in a small coffee shop downtown. When he walked in, he looked older, smaller, almost nervous. He said he was proud of what I had accomplished and that he had made a lot of mistakes. Then he asked if I would help him rebuild everything. And that is when the twist hit me. Because the startup I worked for had just been acquired by a major investment group, and they had given me the power to decide which construction companies we partnered with next, including his. So now the same man who once controlled my entire future was sitting across the table waiting to see if I would give him another chance. I still have not decided what to do. So tell me honestly, if the person who made you homeless at 18 suddenly needed your help 5 years later, would you help them or walk away for good?